My name is Jamie Tam, and I am an assistant professor in the Department of Health Policy and Management at the Yale School of Public Health. My research uses tobacco simulation modeling to examine smoking among people with mental health conditions who smoke and suffer from tobacco-related disease and death at shockingly higher rates compared to the general population. But I'm also broadly interested in the application of simulation modeling tools to evaluate the impact of tobacco policies for populations that are disproportionately harmed by tobacco use. My research uses modeling methods to evaluate long-term population health outcomes and related disparities associated with changes in the policy, treatment, and regulatory environment. To me, disparities, particularly for people with mental and behavioral health conditions, represent the next frontier and imperative for U.S. tobacco control progress. I first developed an interest in tobacco control during my years as a student at Stanford, where I attended a talk on campus about the global tobacco epidemic that was being presented by the CEO of the American Cancer Society. He showed a figure of the different stages of the tobacco epidemic and how different nations follow similar trajectories of broad uptake of smoking, followed by declines as nations begin to address that smoking. I started to understand how historical information can be useful for making projections about the future. Then in graduate school at the University of Michigan, I had the incredibly good fortune of finding terrific mentors who were able to help me further explore my interest in tobacco research and find my own niche in the field. Ken Warner and Rafael Meza supported me as I began my career in tobacco regulatory science. Simulation modeling was and still is clearly informing decision-making by the FDA, and I want to be part of that process. So my mentors gave me the guidance and the confidence to pursue these goals and enter what initially seemed like an intimidating field. After completing my PhD, I spent the next year at the FDA as a tobacco regulatory science fellow, where I tried to absorb as much as possible about how regulations work, how science informs everything from rulemaking to public communication and education, to compliance and enforcement, and to marketing authorizations. So the advice I would give to others who are interested in entering the field of tobacco regulatory science and simulation modeling is twofold. First, make sure you find great mentors who are invested in your development as a scientist and policy thinker. It's important to receive training in a supportive and collaborative environment where your ideas are valued and where you have the opportunity to lead projects that really excite you. Second, learn as much as you can about how FDA regulations work and what role science plays in every aspect of the regulatory process. Taking the extra time to do this is worthwhile because it can sharpen your science and make your research highly purposeful. So I hope you find the world of tobacco regulatory science as welcoming and exciting as I do. Thank you.